Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would just like to take a moment to say thank you to everybody who has recently subscribed to this YouTube channel for showing your undeniable love and support for the Descendants and Zombies franchises. This is truly mind-blowing to me, because I never thought every video I would upload would have such an incredible reach and touch so many hearts. I have touched the hearts of thousands of girls who love Descendants and Zombies, and it really has become the greatest honor of my life, being able to upload videos about Descendants and Zombies for each and every one of you, and to have become your voice of Descendants and Zombies, leading you into the foreseeable future. Very few YouTubers get to the point where I've gotten to with this YouTube channel and have thousands of subscribers. There are people who are fans of Descendants and Zombies who have created Descendants and Zombies YouTube channels, but I've never been this dedicated to uploading videos about Descendants and Zombies. So as a result, a girl watching videos about Descendants and Zombies can't find the videos that she can fall in love with and feel confident in watching, because she knows that someone is always going to forever always upload a video about her favorite star, because she loves Kylie Cantrell and she loves Rhea Sky so much. This really has been the greatest honor of my life, and I want you guys to know that no matter what happens to me or whatever becomes of my life, wherever I go from here, I will never forget any of you, and I will never forget the fans of Descendants and Zombies. I will never forget the profound impact the franchises that you have grew up with and that you have loved for what feels like forever have had on my heart, because this really has become the greatest honor of my life. By the light of the moon, there is nothing else I would rather be talking about or dedicate my life to than the fans of Descendants and Zombies, because that's pretty much what I've done. I moved into a house after I sat on real estate near a soda plantation and a chemical plant to feel what it was like to live in Seabrook, and I've been here ever since. I've moved into a haunted house. You hear a lot of banging in the nighttime sometimes when I record videos, but that's what makes these videos so fun, because you never know what I'm going to say from one moment to the next or what I'm going to do, because I love putting smiles on the people's faces who have subscribed to this YouTube channel, because I've become very dedicated to uploading videos to this channel, because YouTube has become a way of life for me. It's really Descendants, Zombies, or die. I live by what I preach on this YouTube channel, because I believe there's no more effective way to live than by living with an open heart and an open mind and living your life freely and stating how you feel about Descendants, Zombies, and the stars that forever and always held a special place in your heart. Because you see, we live in a universe that is really big, but even with how big this universe is, there is some girl out there tonight watching this video on her tablet who loves Descendants and Zombies. So she wants to find the best video she can on a YouTube channel dedicated to Descendants and Zombies. But the reality she's faced with is there are no YouTube channels, or very few, that are dedicated to Descendants and Zombies. So because there are no YouTube channels dedicated to Descendants and Zombies, and because your favorite stars are faced with criticism every single day they open up their eyes, I wanted to create something special for each and every one of you to show these stars that their potential is really mind-blowing, that they are dedicated, their dedication has paid off and paved the road to success for them. That doesn't always necessarily have to lead to a door that they open that results in them being criticized for something they do or how they feel about politics or their relationship, because they're human beings just like each and every one of us. So because they're human beings like each and every one of us, we want to be respected, and so do they. So I have come to you tonight in peace, and I have come to you tonight, like the aliens, I have come to you tonight to honor your favorite stars like I do every single day for the rest of my life, and hopefully for the foreseeable future. Because I don't know what life has in store for me, but I do know this. I will forever and always be here honoring your favorite stars and showcasing them for you. I give you my word for forever, even if it means the rest of my life, because I too want to find out what's inside of that vortex, and I want to find out what's next for Red and Chloe, what the next chapter will detail. I'm really excited to find out who the villain is going to be, because we have so many unanswered questions that relate to that. I want to find out what the next chapter will detail for the consequences of time travel, and what kind of consequences Red and Chloe will be faced with, what kind of turmoil will be caught up with him, what kind of controversy Pink is going to present, because we're meeting this character for the very first time, and Disney allows, she's so excited to meet all of us, and I think likewise we're excited to meet her. Don't let me down, Pink, because you're beautiful, you're incredibly intelligent. The thing is about these stars coming into the franchise, we don't know a whole lot about them. So because we don't know a whole lot about them, that opens up the door more widely than ever before of unpredictability. So because the door of unpredictability has been never opened up more widely than it has right now, I think there's never been a better time to be excited about the future of the Descendants franchise. So why are we criticizing it? We're criticizing it because that's what a critic does. I am not a critic. I am a fan of Descendants and Zombies. I'm not a critic. I'm not a journalist. I've been a journalist all of my life, but I refuse to admit that I've been a journalist all of my life, and I know how to get it done when it comes to producing videos. If you guys want reaction videos, I know how to run OBS, so I can do reaction videos for you. We got that. We've got a high-tech camera, professional microphone. I've got all the things that a big-time YouTube creator needs to have to run a YouTube channel. But I've never been monetized. I've never qualified for the YouTube Partnership Program because I'm not here to do that. I'm just here to upload videos because I have fun being on YouTube. And because I have fun being on YouTube, that doesn't give me the right to criticize your favorite stars because I love them so much. I love them just as much as what you do, if not more. I love Ruby Rose Turner. I think she was the exemplification of talent and a definition of kindness. If you were to look up the definition of kindness in the English dictionary, you would see a picture of Ruby Rose Turner next to that definition. And I firmly believe, and am ever more confident, that Ruby is the sweetest soul to ever be a part of a cast to really bring a character to life. And nobody could have got it done as more effectively as what Ruby Rose Turner did. She touched my heart in so many unbelievable and unforgettable ways. I think I'm a better person because of Ruby Rose Turner, because I drew inspiration from her character. And I said to myself after I watched The Rise of Red for the very first time back in 2024, that's it, screw it, I'm going to be a kind person for the rest of my life. And that's all I've ever wanted to be. All I've ever wanted to do ever since my parents passed away. I lost both my parents at a very young age. My mom was a school teacher. My dad had worked professionally in a number of different jobs. All they ever wanted to do was spread a message of kindness. And now I am sitting here 30 years later trying to spread that same message of kindness and touch all of your hearts by talking about the favorite stars that you grew up with. Because I know what it's like to grow up and be a fan of a Disney show like Goof Troop and Gargoyles and Hercules. I was the biggest fan of Gargoyles that there was. David Gallagher's portrayal of Goliath in that show blew my mind. He was so fearless, he was so courageous, and just the story of stone gargoyles becoming actual gargoyles by nightfall was just so intriguing to me. The series only lasted 4 seasons from 1993 to 1999, but I was a big fan of it. So I knew what it was like to be excited for a new episode of an episodic TV series from Disney. Being so excited for the new episode to air on Saturday afternoons and sometimes on the Toon Block in the afternoons on Disney Channel. Every afternoon you get home from school. So because I know what it's like to grow up as a millennial from 1986 to the year 2000, at the turn of the millennium you had Disney really coming into its own. I know what it's like to be each and every one of you, which is why I've never felt more honored to be able to sit behind this microphone every night and talk about Descendants and Zombies in your guys' presence, having become your voice of Descendants and Zombies, because there's something about my voice being attached to these franchises that people seem to can't get enough of. And while that is truer than it's ever been, this really has become the greatest honor of my life, an honor that I've held close to my heart for forever and always, because I think that if you're going to talk about your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars, then talk about them. Show them the respect they deserve, and show them that their dedication has really paid off. It's really paved the road to success for them, and I think more opportunities are going to come knocking at their door very soon. You know, my mom looked at me 30 years ago and she said, Jonathan, if you want Disney to come knocking at your door, it's not going to happen. You have to go out and you have to make Disney realize that you're out there and make yourself noticed. So that's what inspired me to create this show, along with how I always wanted to touch people's hearts through my voice and uploading great videos about the content that you've known and loved. Because the more that I think about it, what she told me when she gave me advice was, I realized Disney was not going to come knocking at my door telling me I was going to be the latest DJ on Disney radio and I was going to be able to talk to favorite stars and I was going to be able to review shows that I grew up watching. I had to get their attention, and how I'm getting their attention is by uploading videos that I can only hope that your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars are going to watch and they're going to see, because in each and every one of my videos in the archives on this YouTube channel, there's a positive message of how I feel about Ruby Rose Turner. There's a positive message about how I feel about Kylie Cantrell, because I used to watch Kylie Cantrell on YouTube, and there's just something about that girl having tears in her eyes that really frustrates me, because I know how much she means to each and every one of you. In no way, shape, or form should her political point of view being ending up in conversations because people can't seem to get enough of upsetting Kylie Cantrell and putting tears in her eyes. Because Kylie Cantrell, the way I choose to look at it, did nothing wrong. She didn't hurt anybody because she's not a Donald Trump supporter. Doesn't give us the right to criticize her. I think that a never-ending amount of love and support being shown to Kylie Cantrell is something we can never give enough of and show enough of, because she's had respect for each and every one of us, so we likewise should return that respect, and the feeling should be mutual. And that's what I wanted to do for these stars. I wanted to pave a road to success to ensure their legacies will go down in history for being some of the greatest of all time. And some way or somehow, I don't know if I've done it, but but I like to believe that I've achieved my dream of being heard by more people, being seen by your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars. One can only hope, because I don't really know if Kylie Control and Ruby Rose Turner have watched these videos at all, but one can only hope they've seen them. The thing is, I like to encourage people. I like to believe that a dream can happen for you regardless of what that dream is, because every dream can become a realization for everybody, because the greatest feeling in the world is when you get to a point where you realize that your dream finally happened for you and you're like, oh my God, did this really happen for me? I can't believe I just achieved a dream that I've been waiting a lifetime to become a reality. And when it finally happens for you, that's when you realize that all the hard work and dedication really paid off. And I think that's what happened for the Descendants stars of the Rise of Red franchises. They took something that once was a global phenomenon and turned it into such a sensation many years later, because more people are fans of Descendants and Zombies now than ever before. This is a time in our lives that we are going to reflect back on 20 years from now, like it or not. We're going to be talking about all the moments that Descendants and Zombies have created for us. I just wish more people were creating more moments for fans of Descendants and Zombies on YouTube and showcasing it for its true value, because when you have people like Kylie Control not on YouTube anymore, or not doing any more Instagram lives because they're afraid of what they're going to see in the way of a review because someone watched their Instagram live feed an hour previously and uploaded a video with their thoughts on it. The thing is, Kylie Control is the strongest person in the world that I've ever encountered. And because she's the strongest person in the world I've ever encountered, it gives me great honor to talk about her in such a fearless way, because she's so fearless, she's so strong, she's the embodiment of what everybody dreams of being. And a lifestyle has been given to her that everybody dreams of having. And I know Disney's lifestyle is pretty much, flawless. It seems to be the perfect dream for everybody to have, but there's a lot of pressure when that camera is turned off. They attend public school, they film Descendants and Zombies, and they don't really have much of a life because they're under so much pressure. So I give you my word, if I'm ever the writer, director, and producer of Descendants and Zombies, I will alleviate the pressure off of their shoulders, and how I will do that is I will sign a document that will lift all restrictions that Disney Channel and Disney Plus have put on them over the last at least 25 years. Because I think it's completely unnecessary when these stars feel like they're under so much pressure that they're going to crack under it, and they're walking on thin ice afraid of what they can say, what they can't say, what they can do, what they can't do. They even have to have a photo on their phone approved by the social media department before they can upload it to social media, because Disney's afraid of leaking something about Descendants and Zombies. I will sign an executive order that will lift all pressure and all restrictions off the shoulders of these stars, because nobody deserves to be treated like that. I remember years ago when I saw The Darker Side of Kids TV, looking at the Nickelodeon kids and how they were treated, Amanda Bynes and Miranda Cosgrove and Ariana Grande, and my heart was broken when Dan Schreider's opinion was expressed on social media after all these years of being a fan of Nickelodeon. And I thought about Disney stars and how Disney had never released a documentary on that before. But I do know that there's a lot of pressure that goes on the shoulders of these stars and how they're treated. I've spoken to a lot of Disney executives, and they honor them by believing that they're protecting them by all the restrictions they're under. But I've questioned that, because I hear Kylie Control on podcast interviews all the time saying that she's afraid to get a phone call of something she might have said in the interview when she's actually conducting the interview. And nobody really deserves to feel that way. I've always done interviews, and I've always tried to make it feel like a conversation between two friends that have known each other for their entire lives, because I think that you have to take off the pressure that someone is under when you're interviewing them and posing all these questions at rapid fire rates. People are always reading off cue cards because they want to come off professional. I have never done that. I've always just jumped on this show with an open heart and an open mind and told you how I felt about people like Kylie Control and Meg Donnelly, because they are incredible people. Because I love them just as much as what you do. I don't agree with the pressure they're under, and I wanted to forever and always do something about that to let them know they're not alone. Because while they're going through whatever they're going through with panic attacks and anxiety and all this depression and stress, there are people just like them suffering with the same thing that can't make sense of their own lives, and we're never alone. I've been through a lot in my lifetime, and all I've ever wanted to do was be heard and be seen by a global audience, and I had the honor to do that by talking about all my favorite things with Disney and Nickelodeon. And it's been the greatest honor of my life, because I not only got the chance to talk about franchises such as Descendants and Zombies and Victorious and iCarly, I got the honor to meet each and every one of you, because you too were a fan of Disney and Nickelodeon and everything from SpongeBob SquarePants. I think SpongeBob SquarePants is the coolest character ever, because of how he didn't care what anybody thought of him. All he wanted to do was spread friendship and be friends with everybody. SpongeBob SquarePants would be my best friend if he was a real person. I think it's really cool that we have so many fans of Descendants and Zombies. I think it's really cool that Bank Donnelly watches Bluey every single night of her life because she thinks Bluey is cool and she draws inspiration from it. I've been caught watching Bluey on times too because the more I think about it, Bluey is the embodiment of what everybody should really aspire to be in life, and that's a more kinder person. The thing about Bluey I notice, and that many of you probably notice perhaps if you watch Bluey, is just how kind he is. And he doesn't care what anybody thinks of him. All he wants to do is spread happiness. And in every single episode of Bluey, he does it. Even if it's involving him driving a dump truck or a car or a bus, everybody just ends up happy after watching an episode of Bluey. And that's something you have a greater appreciation for to really understand. And the thing is, that's why a lot of people can't review the latest episode of Bluey or can't make sense of why Meg Donnelly loves all these cartoons like SpongeBob, which is one of her all-time favorites, mine too. I've watched SpongeBob ever since May 1st, 1999, I believe. Actually, that was the night of its premiere. And I've watched virtually every episode of SpongeBob and Bluey because I just draw inspiration to be kinder from these franchises. So in order to understand why these stars feel the way they do, you've really got to put yourself in that position and think about how you would feel, watching a show like that, and why, and really understand and grasp the concept of why they feel the way that they do. Because, in all honesty, I think that these stars have deserved to be treated and looked at in a more positive light. And I've just wanted to give them that opportunity to shine in that light brighter than they ever had before. And honestly, somewhere, somehow, I like to believe that I accomplished that. Because I do have all the respect in the world for people like Freya Sky, who still has a long way to go. But that's the interesting thing about life. We don't know what to expect from one moment to the next and what each day is going to bring. But I remember having a conversation years ago with my grandfather and my dad when my nephew was probably only 2 years old. So he was in pretty much a baby carriage, and he was rocking back and forth before he fell asleep. And after he fell asleep, my dad looked at my grandfather and said, "That guy still has a long way to go," and he was only about 2 years old. And the more I think about it, that's the position that we're all in, no matter if we choose to admit to it or not. We still have a long way to go. And what the most frightening thing is about that situation and that scenario is that we don't know what to expect from one moment to the next. But that's what makes life so exciting and so unpredictable, that we don't know what's going to happen to us. Because if we did know what was going to happen to us, I'm sure we'd all be scared of what the future had in store. But that's what Descendants and Zombies is really setting us up for, is the future. Because we don't know what it has in store, we don't know what the consequences of our actions is going to be, or how much time, most of all, we have. Because the time we're allocated, it's up to us how we spend it. We can spend the time of our life, making more people happy. We can tell more people we love them. We can go back in time and fix some of the mistakes we make or prevent them. It's all about what we do with that time, because the thing about time is time always runs out. And ever since the Rise of Red's premiere, the allocation of time has had a greater emphasis and a greater appreciation from many fans of Descendants and Zombies, because sometimes we never take into consideration how much time is or how valuable it really is. But I do know, most certainly, I will never forget the time that we spent together on this YouTube channel talking about Descendants and Zombies by the light of the moon every night, because there's just something about nightfall, after nightfall on this island, that allows me to put my thoughts together and have a greater appreciation coming from me and being brought forth about Descendants and Zombies. Over 3,000 people nearly have subscribed to this YouTube channel, and nearly 70,000 views have happened for this YouTube channel. Not because I decided to upload videos one day, and 25 years ago I just wanted to be on the radio and be on YouTube and have fun while I was on here. It happened because of each and every one of you. Descendants and Zombies didn't happen because of a board meeting with 500 people coming up with a concept that was inadequate at the time. It happened because of each and every one of you and how much you believed in these stars. Disney just put them in front of you. And you took something that they put in front of you and you turned it into a global phenomenon. Now sure, Disney has a lot of creative minds, but you guys are the most creative of all, because you helped me create this YouTube channel, and because of your dedication to these franchises, this YouTube channel exceeded all my expectations and became something very special to my heart. And I have dedicated my life to Descendants and Zombies because of you, and I will be here forever and always because of each and every one of you, because of the love and support you have undeniably shown this YouTube channel. Seriously, guys, thank you so much, because I don't know where I'd be tonight if not for the fans of Descendants and Zombies. You guys are incredible. You're the best fans in the world, and there is no place in the world I would rather be tonight than sitting behind this podcast microphone to review Descendants and Zombies for the fans that I know who love Descendants and Zombies so much. Seriously, from my heart to yours, guys, thank you so much. I can never seem to say thank you enough. So if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, you're probably going to want to do that. You clicked on this really cool thumbnail of Kylie Control, showing the respect to Kylie Control that she deserves, because I believe that never enough respect can be shown to a star like Kylie Control, because she still has a long way to go, like my nephew did many years ago. He's 15 now. He just got his permit. Hopefully he didn't crash his car or in any trouble. But he still, at 15, has a long way to go. I know that for sure, like we all do. But we're all in this together. So if we're going down as fans of Descendants of Zombies, we are going down together, and there's no better way to go out than if you're going out than to go out in a blaze of glory, because I've always wanted to go out as the greatest of all time. And I know for sure, because of each and every one of you, if not for any other reason, I will go down in history for being one of the greatest to ever talk about Descendants and Zombies and profile it the way it was meant to be profiled for a very long time, showing the respect and the justice to stars like Kylie Control and Freya Sky they have deserved for a very long time. So if you have not rang my bell or subscribed to this YouTube channel, you're probably going to want to do that, because I have a lot to say where this conversation goes, keeping it alive for forever and always, because we are all fans of Descendants and Zombies, because life really is sweeter when all of us are. Guys, seriously, thank you so much from my heart to yours. We will do this all over again tomorrow morning as early as 8:35 and 9:05 a.m. as we do on the official Descendants and Zombies podcast, Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs. You have been watching the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs streaming on this YouTube channel, which I think you're going to want to subscribe to, because life really is sweeter when all of us are. Stay calm and zombie on, guys, into the foreseeable future.